This is a recording of this year's Virtual Residency Fair. We'd like to take the time to thank the programs that volunteered their time to present to this year's applicants. This year's PM&R Scholars Virtual Residency Fair is supported by PM&R Recap and Ultrasound Guidance. PM&R Recap is the leading resource for your physiatry board preparation, clinical preparation, audition rotations, and beyond. PM&R Recap offers 35 hours of review videos, hundreds of review questions, and oral board cases to help you become the best physiatrist that you can be. Head to pmnrrecap.com to learn more. Ultrasound Guidance is the innovative new online ultrasound learning platform that gives you instant access to expert instruction. With rapid scans and complete scans of every joint and peripheral nerve, Ultrasound Guidance is the perfect way to jumpstart your MSK ultrasound learning. Visit ultrasoundguidance.com to learn more.
Perfect. All right. So thank you all for being here. And thank you, PM&R Scholars, for giving us this opportunity to talk. We are Rush, and my name is Elsa George. I am one of the chief residents for Rush this year. I'm joined today by Eunice Baig. He is one of our amazing second years. I'm going to have him helping me out in the chat. So if at any point you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat and he's going to help me answer those questions during the presentation, but I'll try and save some time at the end as well. All right, let's get into this. So here's a big welcome from all of our residents at Rush. A little bit about ourselves as a program. We are located in Chicago, Illinois. I'm sure a lot of you know what Chicago is. There's a lot of fun things to do, a lot of great food, great public transportation to help you get around if you don't want a car for the first couple of years. It's not as cold as everyone talks about. Yes, it does get cold. And yes, there is a fair amount of snow, but it's not too bad and you get used to it. We have 4 categorical positions per year. It's a great way to get to know each other starting your intern year, and you get to know the other residents from the other programs at Rush. I also want to introduce Dr. Ravi Kasi, who's our program director. You'll see his picture in the bottom right, and Dr. Andrew Patton, our associate program director. This is just a picture of what Rush looks like. It is a 671 bed hospital. It serves both adults and children. It is a comprehensive stroke center, so you are going to be seeing some complex stroke cases, both intern year and when those patients eventually come to our rehab center. The Johnston R. Bowman Center is our rehabilitation hospital that is on campus. Right now it is attached to the hospital and to the parking garage. Something to note is that Rush actually has been on the U.S. News and World Report honor roll for the past 4 years, so that's something we're really proud of as a hospital. Just a few pictures of our hospital again. The bottom right picture, that is our current rehab hospital, Johnston R. Bowman Center. As you can tell, it is a little bit old, but not to worry. We are in the process of building a new rehab center. The picture on the left, if you can see that building that's like light green in the background, that is our new building that is going up as we speak. It is set to open in spring of 2024. We're really excited. It's going to be a 60-something bed acute rehab unit, and there is also going to be an LTAC within the building. So a lot of great opportunities that are going to come out of that new unit, but a lot of the structure within our residency program will still remain the same, just a new building. Also the building on the left, the big building that you see, that is our new neuroscience building, where we have our outpatient clinics along with some of the other neurology and neuroscience professionals. So we have a lot of new buildings, a lot of new resources that are being put up on campus, which is really exciting. A little bit about intern year. I'm not going to go into it too much, so if you have any questions, throw it into the chat for Eunice to help answer. But what I do want to highlight is that we do try and have you do internal medicine rotations that pertain to PM&R, things like neurology, rheumatology. And then the rest, the internal medicine team kind of comes up with, so you will be doing general medical floors and ICU. We do make sure that you have 1 month with us in PM&R, generally towards the end of your intern year. You'll spend 2 weeks doing inpatient work and 2 weeks doing consults. And that's just to prepare you for the start of second year. PGY 2-year, like most programs, it is pretty inpatient heavy. You are going to spend 6 months at our acute inpatient rehab unit at Rush. We have general medical services. So at any point, you're going to have a bunch of different types of diagnoses for your patients. So you'll see some neuro rehab, strokes, spinal cord injuries, traumatic brain injuries, as well as different forms of debility like LVAD patients, cancer patients, transplant patients. But I think this is a really good way to learn because we pretty much keep on top of our knowledge for strokes and spinal cord injuries because we're seeing it throughout the year on our services. You'll also spend time at our Hines VA. They have a spinal cord unit there, so we learn a lot about spinal cord injury, and they are just great. You will spend 2 months at Cook County Hospital. Cook County is in the Illinois Medical District, which we are a part of. So it's right next door. Our doctor there is trained in acupuncture and cupping and does manual medicine. So it's a really great way to learn some of those alternative forms of medicine. But we also get the opportunity to learn a little bit more about trauma there because Cook County is a level 1 trauma center. So we see traumatic spinal cord injuries, brain injuries, polytraumas, burns. And that's a really unique opportunity that we don't necessarily get at Rush. PGY 3-year, I'm not going to go into all the details. You can read through this yourself. I do want to highlight, though, that you do get 2 months of elective time during your PGY 3-year. And this is just very important for anyone that is interested in doing a fellowship. You can use this time to do your audition, rotations, and get better at your skills for whatever it is that you choose to do for your career. You also get 2 months of EMG time, and it's a good way to kind of build on some basics as you go into your 4th year. PGY 4-year, that's when you complete the rest of your EMG months. So in total, you're doing 6 months of EMG, but we have no problems reaching our procedure numbers for that. Again, what I want to highlight here is that we get 4 months of elective time during PGY 4-year. And that's really great, again, for your future career, whether you want to do general rehab or you're planning to do a fellowship. Though for the elective times, one of your electives has to be a sports rotation and one is cancer rehab. We're really lucky because we just hired one of our cancer rehab doctors, Dr. Obado Basie. He was a Rush graduate who trained at MD Anderson, and he has come back to be our cancer rehab director. So we have a really unique opportunity to work with him now, which we didn't have before. Elective months, as I talked about, we have a lot of elective months. You can choose to do whatever really interests you during that time. MSK radiology, pelvic floor rehab. We have a pelvic floor clinic. If you want to learn about more alternative forms of medicine like acupuncture and cupping, if you want to do a subacute rehab rotation, we have that option available. Or just want to brush up on your skills for pain, sports, whatever it may be. Call schedule, everyone kind of wonders what call is like at Rush. The important thing to know is that it is at-home call, meaning that overnight we are at home in our own beds. We never have to come into the hospital overnight. There is an internal medicine nocturnist that's available that we can talk to if we need one of our patients to be evaluated. But that does mean that you don't get a post-call day. The weekends are different though. Those are in-house. Saturdays are 24-hour calls. Sundays are 12-hour calls from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That night shift on Sunday is a moonlighting opportunity that our residents have available at our rehab center. So if moonlighting is something you're interested in, we do have that available. As I talked about, there's a lot of flexibility in our schedules. If you want to do audition rotations, rotate with other PM&R programs in the Chicago area. If you want to do international rotations, we do have those available as well. A couple of our residents are actually planning to go to Puerto Rico later this year and provide some care to patients down there. And something I also want to bring up is that Rush has a Master's of Science in Health Systems Management. It's a pretty expensive program, but for a resident, it's pretty reasonable, $6,200. It's a 2-year program, but most of it is online, and there's just 1 week of in-person class per semester, and we help you work around that with your schedule. And a couple of our previous graduates have gone through this program. They've really enjoyed the program and have learned a lot. So if that's something you're interested in, it is something that we have available. Education, our didactics are on Mondays from 4 to 5 p.m. and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 a.m. Again, this is protected time. So if you are on a specific rotation where you have a pager, that pager is being signed out to an attending. You shouldn't be doing any work during that time. It's just for you to learn. I want to highlight a few things in our education program. One is that we have EMG and ultrasound curriculum that is running throughout the year. It's interspersed within our monthly education blocks. And that's just so we can get better at EMG and ultrasound and continue to hone our skills throughout the year. And as we prepare for our EMG and sports and pain rotations. I also want to highlight that we have something called Dugan Rounds. It's on the first Monday of every month, and we talk about different topics, either related to how to do research, professional development, things like how to do a job search, how to build your CV, billing and coding, things like that. And then we also have topics on diversity, and disability. So it's been a really great thing that we've added to our education. And I think the residents have learned a lot about themselves and about what they can do during residency and going forward into their careers. We do also have boards prep that's built into our education for our 4th years. Wellness, we do have 20 vacation days. They're in 1-week blocks, and residents can choose when they want to have vacations. Because we have such a small program, we just work around each other. Wellness is a big thing that's important to us. It's hard to do your job if you are feeling burnt out and tired and mentally unwell. So Rush as a hospital has a lot of resources. They have 24/7 counseling, well-being coaches, a lot of online resources. And then within our department, we have a lot of initiatives that are going on. We have monthly social events that are sponsored by our department. A lot of times it's food, but we do some fun activities as well. We're hoping to do a pumpkin patch later this year when the fall starts up. We have monthly wellness challenges. I think this year what we're going to be doing more is like fitness classes together each month as a group, just for team building and also to build healthy habits. We have food that's available for our residents. Snacks are always in our workrooms. And once or twice a week, we get food for our inpatient teams. And then, of course, we have an annual resident retreat. Last year, we went up to Michigan. All of our residents get to go. Our attendings help cover the day that we go to retreat. This year, we're hoping to be up in Northern Illinois and spend some time going to like a pumpkin patch and apple picking and a haunted house maybe. So a lot of fun things up ahead. Program perks. We have covered parking that's for free. We get $1,000 of food stipend that goes into your paycheck. mileage reimbursement for rotations that are not on campus, which there are several that are not on campus during your 3rd and 4th years, so you get your gas paid for. 4 weeks of paid maternity, paternity, or adoption leave, and then any books, board review courses, conferences that you want to go to, membership fees for different organizations those are all covered by our department, and some of it also by Rush GME. And DEI Community Outreach, this is something that's big for our group as well. We really want to create an inclusive and diverse program in hospital. One of my co-residents, Boss Poving, he's actually the co-committee chair for DEI. We do a lot of things in our community to help out those that are in need. We have a community MSK clinic that we run and have some of our medical students help out in. And we do a lot of sports coverage for the community, a lot of disability justice. So a lot of exciting things. Research is available if that's something you're interested in. Sorry, I'm just going to gloss through some of this, but I will have the PowerPoint available for you all to look at if you're interested in reading more. We have a lot of representation from PM&R in leadership positions, both locally and at AAP. So if that's something you're interested in, we do a lot to help encourage you to participate in that. And then the last thing I want to mention is just career development. We do have meetings for different fellowships that people are interested in, whether it's sports, pain, general. And that's just to help you build your extracurricular opportunities, update fellowship or job application process, CV building, coordinate research, and just find mentors. And then when you start your PGY 2 year, you will have a career mentor and a life mentor that'll help you, that you'll meet with twice during the year to help make sure you're on the right track throughout residency so that you can get where you need to be for fellowship or for your career. And this is just some fellowship matches that we've had in the past several years. People have had no trouble matching from our program. So here's our contact information. Again, my name's Elsa George, but note that my real name is Elizabeth. So my email is elizabeth_george@rush.edu. If you have any questions, email me or our program director or coordinator, and follow us on Instagram, rush_PMR. All right, I think I have a little bit of time for questions. If anyone has any, please feel free.
Yeah, also, we did get a question. Are didactics available to attend virtually for med students and applicants?
Oh, that's a good question. So if you're rotating, we always have our med students come to lecture or participate virtually, but as of right now, I don't think we have anyone that is not rotating with us participate in our didactics. It's something that I could definitely talk to our program leadership about, though. If you're interested, just shoot me an email and I'll follow up on it. Any other questions in the chat, or if anyone wants to speak up? Let's see. Okay, I see a question on exposure for procedure training. I think we see a lot of different types of procedures on our rotations that we're on. There's a lot of push for using ultrasound with our different attendings. So we get a lot of ultrasound exposure. And like I said, during our didactics, we intersperse like EMG and ultrasound training during that time as well. And so I think we're doing a better job since incorporating that, getting better at doing those types of procedures. So I think a lot of our residents come out of residency feeling pretty comfortable with ultrasound and of course EMGs. Let's see. All right. Anything else? There's a lot of questions. I'm sorry I haven't been able to answer them all, but like I said, if I didn't answer it, just email me and I'll be able to shoot you an email, and I'll try and make this PowerPoint available through PM&R Scholars.
And I'll stay on a little bit longer to reply to some of these questions, just so you guys get an answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, feel free to hang back and answer questions in the chat, or if you already threw up your contact info, so that's great too. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.